background because I do have a degree in chemistry.
Recorded live.
So I understand that water is a kind of an interesting substance. It's a very, very good solvent. And one thing that makes it a good solvent is because it has fairly strong positive and negative poles in the molecule, the oxygen being the negative pole and the hydrogens being the positive pole. And these negatives and positives have a way of attracting each other and holding it together in a solution of water. The thing that holds it together are called van der Waals forces. They're very light, essentially magnetic attractants between two water molecules. But it makes it interesting in this way. First of all, it does have the ability to move easily because it's a small molecule among larger molecules, say, for instance, like hormones or whatever. So it's a great substrate in which a chemical reaction can occur. The other thing that's interesting about it is because it does have these fairly pronounced electromagnetic dipoles that go on, or not dipoles, but positive and negative attractants. It has also the ability to hold itself very well together, but then also responds very well to external electromagnetic forces. So what happens in a water solution is you have these little water molecules bouncing back and forth, attracting here and attracting there, moving in and out around bigger molecules, proteins such as hormones and things of that nature, and other things that are mixed up in solution. And these water molecules, if we hit with an external electromagnetic force, actually change their water crystalline state. Normally they are in groups of 400 to 200 little water molecules where they hold together in this liquid crystal. Now, when you freeze water, of course, then the crystal is no longer liquid, it becomes solid. That's where you get this Emoto effect, where if you put love on a glass vial and freeze the water, sometimes you get a snowflake that looks like love. Probably a lot of times you don't, but they're showing you the really exemplary crystals because they, kind of want to make their point, I suppose. But in the water state, it's not like that at all. You don't have to worry about exemplary crystals because every time you hit a water solution with a certain energy, it will change automatically because of its fluid nature, moving back and forth, being adjusted by its electromagnetic forces into a brand new water crystal. So what you have then is a human body, which is 70% water, that produces the substrate in which all biochemical reactions occur. And these biochemical reactions are what produces moods and strength and various other things that happen within the cells and outside the cells and so forth, which then get together and agglomerate and form tissues and so forth and so on. And this ongoing buffer system that's going on inside of the body continues to exchange back and forth, reacting to external electromagnetic forces, reacting to forces, biochemical forces within the cell itself, et cetera, reacting to things that are ingested, reacting to things that are expelled, so forth and so on. So essentially, it's a great big closed system, a big closed buffer system, in which everything is fluid and reacting not only to ingestion, but also to external electromagnetic forces, let's call it. So now let's remove that human paradigm there for a second. Let's just talk about water itself. Water has this liquid crystalline structure. We've already stated that. So when you prepare a homeopathic solution, it's very well known that if you put a certain substance into the water and you dilute the homeopathic solution 10, 20, 30, 100, 200 times, the original molecules that made up the things in the solution that aren't water but are something else like a drug or whatever, they're not there anymore. They've been diluted out long before that, and yet the water still maintains the power of the molecule that was there. And the reason it does is because the molecule leaves its electromagnetic imprint upon the water and allows the water to it causes the water to still continue to have a water crystal representing that particular substance. And what's interesting is since it's a water crystal, not encumbered by big, ugly molecules, which usually these other things are made up of, the water itself moves very, very fluidly in the body. This crystal that's produced affects other crystals, and pretty soon, if it's the right kind of substance, you have a chain reaction in which the body reinvents this electromagnetic crystal throughout the body, and this is how homeopathic remedies work. At least that's how I think they work. I've never read this anywhere, but I'm just kind of intuiting it. It seems like it's an intelligent way to go at it for me. Somebody out there's got a better idea, I'd be happy to hear it. Now, the water in the body is also interesting in another way. As I said before, it responds to external electromagnetic stimuli. So, if you have a negative energy coming from another person, you can be pretty well assured that that negative energy coming from another person is going to change the water structure of your body as well. You may be able to block it, but it's still going to have some effect. In fact, all the electromagnetic radiation, etheric radiation out there is constantly working on everybody's body, trying to alter the electromagnetic structure of the water or the crystalline structure of the water to produce this thing that is more like it all the time. Fortunately, we have ways of stopping that, which is why I invented the machine, because I got tired of being worked on by external forces and started experimenting with it and found a way to stop it. There's a movie out called Water. It's actually a documentary that was produced in Russia. Some of you may have seen it. It's a great movie, and if you can ever get a copy of it, it's worthwhile, a DVD of it, to play this, because it talks about some of the stuff I'm talking about. What's interesting about this water crystalline structure is it's so sensitive that it can be influenced at a distance. For instance, I can send a signal from Prescott, Arizona, which is where I live, to any place in the world, and it's going to be affected by the etheric envelope that's the etheric envelope of the person is going to be affected, which will affect the water crystalline structure, which can alter things in so many ways. It can alter it in a drug sense, but it can also alter it in a mood or emotional sense. So what we're basically dealing with here is a little thing I came up with, which is an offshoot of other things that I've read about before. But it's not homeopathic so much as just elixirs or a homeopathic effect at a distance. But I like to call it elixirs because homeopathy, to me, is a catch-all phrase, and actually dealing with diseases is something I don't really care to do. What I would much more interested in is reaching people's spiritual side. And so in that way, I've found ways that you can reach people's spiritual side by sending energy at a distance and affecting the water, and then when they ingest the water that's been affected by the energy at a distance, they then have their mood changed, altered radically. So what I thought I'd do tonight, just for fun after a while, is make you all a homeopathic elixir. So what I need for you all to do while I'm talking is get a piece of paper and write, let's use star 5, F-I-V-E-S-T-A-R, or either way, it doesn't make it, as long as those two words are on the paper. Let's say star 5, star above 5. Okay? So write that on a small piece of paper. Get yourself a glass of water or a little dropper deal of water and put it on star 5. And when you've done that, we'll just talk a little bit more and field a few questions while everybody's getting all prepared. Then we'll see if we can produce a homeopathic elixir or a distance elixir or a distance remedy or whatever you want to call it that produces happiness. If you take drops of it, it makes you happy. So any questions before we start? Please have questions so you can help your compadres get this stuff put together.
Bill, do we put the glass of water on the paper?
Uh-huh.
Just put the paper down on a table?
Now, star 5 on a piece of paper,
mm-hmm.
Put the glass of water on top of it. Of course, it has to be filled